Sometimes the biggest shifts in crypto don't come with fireworks. They show up quietly in the data, the dev updates, and the conversations happening across the community. This week feels like one of those times with projects around the internet computer showing real grounded progress. Let's see what's coming up with. Let's start with something the Bob community will love. The number of addresses holding a non-zero balance of Bob has climbed past 6,300 according to data from IC Terminal. That's the highest it's ever been. You can actually see it on the charts, a slow, steady climb throughout the year and then a sharp rise in recent weeks. Now, what's driving this? Analysts are saying the new wave of holders might be coming from platforms like Coinbase or from broader retail interest that's been building momentum. It's hard to pin down a single reason, but what's clear is that more people are joining the ecosystem, and that's usually a good sign of confidence in the token's direction. Of course, holder growth doesn't automatically mean price stability, but it does suggest that Bob's network effects are strengthening. More holders mean more voices, more liquidity, and a wider base to build on. It's a reminder that communities often grow long before markets catch up. If this pace keeps up, the next few months could reveal some interesting adoption patterns, especially as new participants start engaging with the token and the platforms that support it. Speaking of platforms, Decide AI has just rolled out a really practical update that should make life easier for developers working with identity verification. The team has introduced a new billing and payments feature. This means developers can now top up their accounts directly to keep using Decide ID's uniqueness verification for users. It sounds simple, but it's one of those quality of life updates that make a big difference. Developers using Decide AI's OIDC endpoint can now deposit tokens straight into their wallet to maintain uninterrupted access. The recommended wallet is from OIC, which is, if you have used it, you know supports sub accounts. That's handy because it lets teams manage multiple projects without juggling separate wallets. The idea here is to make Decide AI's ecosystem smoother to use and more reliable for developers. No more manual processes or complicated funding steps, just a direct, transparent way to keep verification running. It fits nicely with the project's push to make identity tools accessible without compromising on security. In a space where user verification and privacy often clash, small improvements like this make a real difference. It's about giving builders the flexibility they need without friction. Now, let's talk about something that's been catching the whole market's attention. That is Zcash. The privacy focused coin has made a remarkable comeback. In just a week, its price jumped from around $40 to over 170, outperforming even Bitcoin and Ethereum in the same period. That's quite a surge for a project that's been quietly building in the background for years. Zcash has always been known for its Zk-snark technology, that is, zero knowledge proofs that allow private transactions without revealing sensitive data. With the global conversation around digital privacy heating up, it seems like Zcash is back in the spotlight. Dominic Williams, the founder of the Internet Computer, even mentioned it on X, saying the rally shows how strong projects can come full circle. He was referring to Zcash's early days when it launched at over $2,000 before cooling off. Several factors seem to be fueling this revival. Grayscale's Zcash trust, worth around $46 million, is being discussed again among investors who want exposure to privacy coins. Integrations like Zashi CrossPay are making it easier for people to transact privately, and there's been a noticeable rise in online chatter comparing Zcash and Monero. Some long-time holders are even throwing around predictions of Zcash possibly reaching $1,000, though of course that's speculation, not financial advice. That said, the privacy coin space is never straightforward. Regulatory hurdles remain, especially in places like the UK and EU, where exchanges are cautious about listing these assets. So while there is genuine excitement, it comes with a dose of realism. Still, what's happening with Zcash feels like a reflection of a bigger shift, where people are starting to value privacy again in an era when surveillance and data tracking are everywhere. It's a fascinating story of technology, trust, and timing. Let's wrap up with something closer to home for the ICP community, that is FunAI's Bonfire Week. The event closed out strong with the Onic AI team expanding liquidity in the FunAI ICP pool on ICPSwap. It's part of a broader strategy to deepen liquidity and keep the project's momentum going. Here is the interesting bit. From now on, 90% of all incoming ICP and Fund AI will go directly toward liquidity, and a small 0.1% will be allocated to token burning. That's a thoughtful balance. It keeps liquidity deep while adding a light deflationary touch to the tokenomics. The goal is to make the pools more stable, reduce volatility, and improve the trading experience for everyone involved. The community has been really positive about Bonfire Week, with many saying it helped maintain energy around the token and gave users a reason to stay active. Fun AI's steady presence on ICPSwap has already boosted its visibility among ICP users, and with liquidity now at the center of its strategy, the project seems focused on long term stability rather than short term hype. It's a mature approach, growing carefully, involving the community, and setting up the groundwork for the next phase. If we look at all these stories together, from Bob's growing community and Decide AI's smart developer update to Zcash's return and Fun AI's steady liquidity build-up, there is a common thread: momentum through action. Each of these projects, in their own way, it's showing what consistent development and genuine community engagement can do. Growth doesn't always come from loud announcements. Sometimes it comes quietly through progress that compounds. That's the beauty of this space. There is always movement and there is always someone building, even when the spotlight is somewhere else. If you want to support the channel, you can make a donation. Every contribution helps us keep delivering these updates. Links to all the projects we covered today are in the description, so you can explore them further and stay connected. That's all for today's update. I'll see you in the next one.